It is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I think in the previous session we had discussed up to the emerging e-commerce platforms.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we had stopped here. So now here, if we see, there are many emerging e-commerce platforms. The first is with reference to information system platform. Now here, it supports the back office or operations. Now here, there are certain needs for the businesses or for the individuals where the information is the prime motive or information seeking is the objective, and hence these platforms have come up. Now if we take into consideration, here we can have the computer software as well as the application based softwares, that is system software and application based software. If we go into the details of system software, which relates to the operating softwares, now here it includes the hardware data, the program files, and other system resources. Now the user can control the PC with the help of the user interface. While when we come to the application part, application-based software, they are the programs designed for the specific task for the users. Here you can take an example of ERP systems, ERP packages which are used at the back end by the companies, by the firms. If you take into consideration businesses, okay, the production unit may have an ERP with reference to procurement of materials. If it is a CA firm, you may have the ERP with reference to maintaining the client records. Where we see we have many apps which can be downloaded on our smartphones, and through these apps we can utilize this, we can apply this in our day-to-day life. If you take an example of a banking app or any other, we can say where the digital payments are considered, we do have apps for that also. So here these are the emerging platforms with reference to information sharing, and that's why they come into this category. Now the second is the telecommunications here, which are used to connect or network computer systems or portable or wearable devices which transit the information through wired or wireless communication. Here we can take an example of fiber optics, wireless technology, microwaves, various computer networks configuration, which are done. The example of the LAN also comes into this, where a large number of computers are joined together. And there is basic motive is the sharing of the data through it, which connects and disseminates the information. It helps in knowledge gaining as well as knowledge sharing, where large pool of data has to be managed. If you consider the customer care department, one can have this operational support systems there, if we consider this. So coming to the next is the customer experience platforms. Now here when I say it's a customer experience platform which contains the main focus as the customer. where we have the portals for the customer and the citizens, and there are multi-channels or customer apps. Now here we can take an example of the customer in connection with the e-government platforms. Like if you are filling the Aadhaar on the portal, or maybe if you are filing the income tax returns. So this is with reference to customer experience platforms. Or we can take into consideration the apps wherein the customer goes for shopping, or one can say for the sharing of the marketing experience here. Now today, if you see, many of the platforms have come up, the businesses which give a chance for the customers to uh, experience the experience of buying, purchasing, or shopping through this e-platform mode. Now here we take an example of Amazon, or we take an example of eBay, or we say about Shopify, about Myntra. All these are the customer experience platforms, or you can say into services sector like travel and tourism, the yatra.com, where the customer enters the browser and seeks for particular organization, seeks for that services. The customer enters the portal and tries to experience the basic information, or enters into the purchasing phase to purchase the offering provided by the marketer. So this is what is about customer experience platforms. Now here, next is the data and analytics platform. Now here, it contains information management and analytical capabilities. It deals with a large pool of data. We can say here there is dissemination of quantitative data rather than qualitative data. Analytics deals with the big data. Now, the applications, analytical applications are data driven, which are useful for making decisions, and algorithms which help in automation of the programs. So here, this deals with the data analytics. Now coming to the next is Internet of Things platform, which is much more talked about today, is Internet of Things platform. Now here, data is on the one hand and the application is on the other hand. This application enables many platforms with reference to artificial intelligence and machine learning. Now, when we say it is the Internet of the Things, today we see that it connects the physical evidence, okay, or the convenience applications for monitoring, optimization, control, and monetization. Also, it includes the capabilities with reference to connectivities, analytics, and integration to core and operational technology systems also. Now here, if we are speaking about the cars, the driverless cars, okay. or we speak about the wearable gadgets. So all this is with reference to Internet of Things. Any other examples which you can think about the Internet of Things? Hello. Now this is the emerging technology, which has a lot of potential. The enabling technologies, the connectivity and transformation are the three important aspects as far as the Internet of Things are considered. Here basically the Internet architecture board includes device to device, device to cloud, device to gateway, and backend data sharing here. These are the four important
Home automation.
aspects.
Home automation is also the best example of.
Home automation is the best example. I spoke about the automobile, where the future which we are viewing is that maybe we will have just automation over there. The commands are given and the automobile moves out. So this is what would be the future, and you can say the example of the Internet of Things. Even you can take an example of Alexa, introduced by Amazon, the Google Home, the traffic control lights, automation, household appliances, many medical devices which come into this category. So this is about the Internet of Things platform. Now coming to the next part, that is the ecosystems platform. Now here in this ecosystems platform, it supports the creation of and connection to external ecosystems, the marketplaces and the communities. Through the API management, control and security, where these are the main elements. Now this API management means the process of distributing, controlling and analyzing APIs that connect applications and data across the clouds. So here basically we say that the components, okay, the external components or the marketplaces and the communities, the connection is supported with the help of this ecosystem platforms. Now here, what are the frameworks for digital business technology platform, which it does not cover? Now some areas are like an infrastructure and operations perspective. Like we have the data centers, networking, and the cloud. Now this is not represented in this framework, even though it will be an important part of the digital business. A data management and retention perspective also not considered. Although it assumes that data management is the at least a formal program and is covered by the policy or security, risk and compliance perspective. Now here enterprises building a business technology platform, they should understand the risk and tolerance effectively, and they should implement the security controls here. Then the insourcing, outsourcing and cloud sourcing guidelines. Now here they can be sourced from any of the combinations. Now, this is about the emerging e-commerce platforms. Now, digital business here is like the minimizing the gap between the digital and the external world or the physical world, we can say, where the people, the businesses, and the things come together. When we say it's a digital business, it means the people are well equipped with the tools, the internet connectivity. So we mean to say we can speak about the smart cities with connected parking facilities and other services. If you consider the manufacturers, again here, when we say it's a digital business or digital mode, they are digitally well equipped with the tools which connect these enterprises or manufacturers with other businesses, with the customers, with the suppliers, and at the back end they have all the technological backup here. Regardless of into which type of digital business you are, most of them, they have to be well equipped if they want to enter into the digital platform mode. There is no option left for them. So here we can say that when we speak of digital businesses, the basic requirement is much more than just the technology. Totally, they will have to think about new business models. Whether you have understood this part, maybe in the coming sessions we will discuss in detail about the platforms. Now coming to the next part is a classification of e-commerce models. Now in brief, I had discussed this in the previous session. So here when we speak of business to business model, now when I say it's a business to business model, that means whether the slide is not visible. Hello.
Yes, it's visible, ma'am. The first
Okay.
classification.
Yeah. Yes, somebody had just told me that it's not visible. That's why I just confirmed. So there are many, if we see
Could you please
organizations.
close and reshare it?
It's not visible.
Yeah, there is a one line on the screen.
One line.
Yeah, the black one.
Whether the PPT is visible?
Not yet.
I think there
No,
is
not
some
visible yet.
problem. Hello?
Yeah, it's not visible yet.
Yes, just. Hello?
Yes, it's visible now.
Now, whether it's visible?
Yeah.
Okay.
Visible.
So here, the B2B model deals with procuring the material, ordering the material, preparing the ledgers, purchasing, as well as it includes the administrative communication between one business with the other business. So it links two entrepreneurs, two enterprises, two or more rather. It includes the trading of commodities, of services, maybe the professional services, business subscriptions, the wholesaling contracts, the business contracts in this B2B model. Businesses exist here in the virtual mode. Two companies, okay, they communicate by the means of internet. One company specifies the requirement to the other enterprise specification in terms of what is the requirement of the offering, what is the quantity. Usually when we say it's B2B, that means it is in a bulk quantity, and where the bulk quantity is involved, there is negotiation for the price in between both of them. And it does happen, and it's a also many a times the business is on the credit also. So here the terms of negotiation or transactions are confirmed before entering into the contract or before placing the order for the offering. So this is one very important which does not happen into B2C part. As such, there is no documentation, or maybe we can say there is no contract as such. But in case of business to business, if it is for the first time, there is a contract, or there is, we can say, negotiation in between both the parties. Maybe even the price may include the transportation cost also. Who should bear the transportation cost, whether the buyer or the seller? As far as this business to business enterprise model is considered, now it depends upon the place, physical distance also. The quantity is purchased, the more would be bulk order. Maybe the even the supplier is ready to negotiate on the prices. Whether there is any customization as far as the order is considered. If suppose one manufacturer is buying pistons, he should specify the size of the pistons. Now, in terms of global markets also, here in case of global markets, the negotiation part or the contract part plays a very vital role, as the goods would be crossing the boundaries of one nation and entering into the other nation. So here the gravity or the intensity of the aspects with reference to negotiation or entering into the contracts or transportation, the basic pricing, customization requirement depends upon the type. I mean, like it wants to go for a global partnering or on the national basis or on the regional basis. Accordingly, the other things will vary here. Especially if you take into consideration the medical devices or equipments, we see many of the goods are imported. And the customer, there is customization. We can take an example of the fabrics. Okay, if there is a rayon, the rayon is procured and it is used into many other businesses. So here for the enterprise, they may have many customers and their requirements would be different. For this business to business network or modeling, the data should be protected, the data should be safeguarded. And here, it is the responsibility of the administrative person to see to it that the data is stored, because every now and then one cannot think of asking the regular business customers that what were the specifications previously, please let us know. Even though each and every time they specify on the order, but still here one should have records as far as the business customers are considered. Now here, when we take the one of the important advantages of this model, it proves to be much more efficient and quicker, as one can have through the internet, the placing of order is done immediately. The documents required can be shared. For example, if we are need some documents related to the government norms, they could be easily provided. Only the thing here is there is no option as far as the physical movement of goods is considered from the manufacturer to the other enterprise. It can also automate the process as far as the corporate processes are considered. So this is about a business to business model. Now coming to the next part is business to consumer model. It involves the transactions between the business and the customers or the clients directly. Here there are no intermediaries like we used to have in our traditional model. We have the dealers, the distributors. So here that is not the case. Directly the customer is linked to the enterprise. Maybe we can say through an interface is there in between, but not always. One can have the direct visit to the website of the company also. The websites of the organization, they display the offerings on the websites through online catalogs. Now here online catalogs are designed where the customer enters the portals, which gives a fair idea about the offerings of the organization. The customer looks for the desired offering. Maybe if you take services like banking, when you enter any homepage, the website of a bank, you will come to the different tags on the portal, and you will just toggle where you want to reach, what exactly you want, and you move there. You see the drop down menu and you enter the particular area what you are looking for. Similarly, if you have the travel services also, you can do this. Today even hospitals have this. Maybe if you want to fix an appointment, you can just go to the home page, you can go into the drop down menu and you can look for the information whatever is required as far as the service industries are considered. When we take into consideration the e-retail part, in that also if you visit the home page, you will see that there are numerous offerings with the classifications of maybe generic goods or electronic goods, apparels, uh, kitchen households, home and decor, like that. There may be the categorization of the offering where the customer enters. So this conveniently takes the customer or makes the journey of the customer more convenient to reach to the desired destination. That is, maybe customer is looking for particular offering and easily through this categorization from the organization or the manufacturer, he himself provides a convenient platform for the customers. Now here the basic challenge is for these manufacturers, how attractive or how better you design the portal, how better you make the customers or care about the customer convenience to reach to their desired destination. Even those organizations who go for a brick and click model, okay, they should also take care that they should be able to retain the customer interest here. Now coming to the next part is the consumer to consumer. Now, if we take the advantages as far as the business to consumer is considered, the consumer can easily within no time, there is no time constraint. Anytime we can log in, we can just have a look and order. Only the thing is the stock should be available. If the stock is not available, the manufacturer should convey the customers that the particular stock is not available with us. Usually, there should not be much gap in between when the customer enters such type of blocks where you have the out of order stock. Okay, immediately it should be taken care of by the manufacturer. Otherwise, maybe the customer might be a loyal customer and he is awaiting that particular offering. And if the manufacturer, in spite of having stock, fails to fill the space, then there is a problem. You might lose the company might lose the customer here. So when one thinks of entering into the digital mode of commerce, digital mode of business, the information part is very important. Every now and then the website has to be edited, developed, upgraded, and one should keep an eye what exactly is happening. This is the one of the important tasks of the enterprises, that whether there is new product, whether they are offering something and they have informed the customers, but it is not visible on the portal. That should not happen, because when you have messaged the customer, maybe you have through phone or maybe through email, if you have conveyed the customer that there is new offering, so here it should be placed on the portal, because customer would be looking for the features, for the details, for the price of it. If it is not there, then it gives a very bad impression here. Now coming to the consumer to consumer model, where the customer plans his products to the other customer, or sells or offers his product to the other customers. Now, where this is possible, in which case this is possible, customer to consumer model. Hello,
Yes, ma'am.
hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
So I had asked one question. When this consumer to consumer model, that means both of them are consumers only, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Consumer to consumer. Maybe I discussed this in brief. Now here, this is which allows the customers to buy and sell and interact
Sell
between
product
other.
directly with the customer.
Sell directly with the customer.
Yeah.
Who will sell?
Oh, ma'am, any third party is like just arranging the products between two customers or sellers. Like service provider, someone like who is just a platform for
Yeah,
selling.
very true, very true. Now
Is
here,
huh.
for this, there are two customers. Okay, one customer is transacting with the other customer, and as you said, the third party. Why we need the third party here?
It will minimize our expenses. Like
And it
this.
yeah, like it may be like wide varieties, like wide customers and sellers, we are not aware of it. So it provides one platform for all
Yes.
things.
So here, maybe bridging the gap between these both the customers would be much more easy. Suppose we use one platform which has a pool of offerings, and suppose I am a customer, I place my offering there, it becomes much more easy. See, as an individual customer, it's very difficult for me to reach the masses or reach the other customers. It is also possible, provided I have that much, as far as the e-technology or IT part is considered, to develop my website, spread word of mouth publicity, and try to develop the business. So here, on the behalf of me, I take help of some third party who will just include my offerings on their websites, so that when the customer enters the portal, even my products are visible there. So here, through this model, it becomes much more easier to enter into the business area, or most of the customers who visit that particular portal will ultimately reach to our offering. That is what is the intention here. Now, instead of having the middleman in the traditional business, you have these portals and you have to pay them, which is less as compared to the traditional one. So it becomes much more, feasible, as it includes lower prices. Now here, since the portal has large pool of goods, even your offerings can be highlighted. The more the customers the visit the portal, the more would be the chances of the customer's product to reach to that customers who visit the portal. So the reach is easily possible here with the help of this C2C model. Now here, if we consider the other side of the coin, so these platforms, it depends upon where they place the offerings. If you want to highlight on the home page itself, when the customer enters, okay, the prices also depend upon that. The payment systems have to be managed here. So this is about the consumer to consumer model. Now, for whom this model is feasible, consumer to consumer? Business to business is where two businesses are there. Business to consumer is they are also into the business. What about consumer to consumer?
Oh, ma'am, where small scale business, like those who are doing on a like
So we
small.
can say whether startups, for
Yeah, ma'am.
for
Whole-
startups is it feasible initially? Okay, since they are in the startup phase, then as you rightly said, small scale, those who are into the sector of small scale manufacturing, for them also it is feasible. Apart from this, anybody else? Whether will we consider the for the resellers market here? Resellers, it means that I want to sell a good which I have already used. It is in good condition, no doubt. But if I can find somebody else who can go for the second hand purchase, like we had the quicker
OLX.
OLX. The simple, if you have seen the advertisement also, it focused on that key OLX pe dal do, base do. Okay, so here this is also C2C model. So it depends upon the need of the customer. Now coming to the next part is consumer to business. Now this involves business deal which is conducted between a consumer and a business organization. It is similar to B2C model, but the difference here is that here the business organizations are the buyer and the consumer is the seller here in this case.
Ma'am, example is like Amul is purchasing the milk from small like people.
Yes. But here, it is through e-commerce model. There it is physically done. But the portal, they maintain the details with the help of the database. But here in this case, the consumers, they decide the price for that particular product rather than the supplier. It becomes easy for the businesses. They get the options from the customers. Maybe one can think of having the specialized skill sets. Suppose you can think of having the products with reference to something with reference to Indian cultural context, where we have maybe specially prepared toys or where the knitting work is done, where it also becomes a part of social, to give a boost to the entrepreneurship under the umbrella of social work. Some of the companies are undertaking this model. Like I had previously, I had given you an example of Amazon promoting on the basis of this theme during Diwali, if you had seen. So here directly the customer comes in terms with the business. Here they may enter a contract as far as the negotiation, the pricing, the delivery mechanism is considered. Now here one part is left out, that is the business to government model. Now businesses are answerable to the government as with the other entities, other stakeholders. Government is one of the important stakeholders. So if we see the various part of the e-governance, okay, we have the government to government model where one department of the government shares the information with the other department of the. Hello? Any doubts? So there is the information sharing between one department of the government with the other department. Then government to consumer is there. In this model, the government transacts with an individual consumer. We can take an example of the tax payments, where the government has the portal. As far as the tax payment is considered, or IT filing of IT returns is considered, government facilitates through this digital e-governance model. If we take into account the government to consumer to government model, where an individual consumer interacts with the government, like we pay online taxes or we pay the online bills with reference to the public sectors. The transactions involved, they come under the purview of consumer to government model. Similarly, government to business model involves dealing with the government and the business organizations. Now here, especially those enterprises or businesses which are linked with the government, like road manufacturers or government hospitals, which are linked with the businesses of suppliers, the health supplies. So here they enter into the contracts, maybe with reference to tenders, inviting tenders, quoting tenders. It requires a lot of documentation, which is possible with less time through the help of internet. So even in the government sector, you will see that there is penetration of internet, and hence these models have emerged. The government has also facilitated the enterprises as well as the customers by inculcating or including this internet, that is e-mode of commerce, in their day-to-day routine also, by including them in the public sector. Now moving ahead with the e-commerce business models. The first one is the portal model. These are just now we spoke about the portals where the customer enters when they browse on the internet or search for the websites. When they enter the portals, different portals or the websites, we can say. The electronic marketplaces are there. Now here, irrespective of what the customer is looking for, even when we enter the Google, okay, if you search for Google also, you enter the portals, maybe with reference to any information, with reference to any organization, or maybe with reference to purchasing mode. Each and every time you enter the Google or any other search engine and try to seek the information, okay, the database is created. Even suppose if you are visiting Amazon or a Myntra or anywhere else, when you enter and move to the particular search area, the database is created there. These portals, these sites provide the visitors with lot of information. When you enter, there is lot of information. Then it depends upon the customer. If as a customer I visit a particular website where I am looking for a offering, okay, there may be with reference to some news, that is the new entry of offering or some new version. There may be sportswear, there may be with reference to, if you are into online shopping, you may see the different tags there, and wherever you want to enter, you click and you enter it in it. Also, many a times there is pop-up of advertisements. Many a times you will find that after the ad finishes, then only we can enter there. So here, the advertisers, it's a paid version here. Unless and until you finish, you cannot move ahead. So this is the revenue gained by those businesses on whose portal the customer is entering. Means you will have to read the ad, gain the information and move ahead. So these are the strategies for gaining revenues by the entrepreneurs. Even the per click, customer per click is also taken into account here. That is, if you consider the search engines, they monitor at what particular phase, how many times, or the frequency the visitor has clicked the button and what all he is looking for. And if the customer is not satisfied, maybe the customer will not enter in this zone here. Now there are broad, as far as the search engines are considered, there are many search engines there available. Now, any doubts, maybe we will discuss the other business models in the next session.
Okay, ma'am.
Today we'll stop.